Okay, we are heading out on a neighborhood rough boarding adventure. You've got Zorro in front, Lolo right here behind, Jag here in the blue harness, and Chase in the orange harness. And that's Jimmy holding the bike because they're very excited and they will pull it over right now. So we are getting ready to rock and roll, and we'll catch up with you on the journey. Okay, we're at about 1.25 miles. We're watering them up. It's more humid than it is hot, but the temperature is probably about 80 degrees. And a lot of people are concerned about running the dogs in the heat, and I definitely would not advise it. The way I do it, I've always had success. We've never had any dog overheat in the 25 years I've been doing this. 81 degrees. So what I do is, depending on the predicament, I keep them cool before we run. No food. Give them all the water they want, and I'll spray them down if need be accordingly, either before or after the run or during the run. I've developed a misting system. Or what I'll do as well is let them cool off along the run, depending where we're at. If we're in the neighborhood where we are today, I'll just let them cool off in the pond when we're done, put them inside the house to get air conditioning, and also not run them when it's too hot, of course. But the roads, as you can see, are coated most of the way with rain we had earlier this morning, so that helps keep them cool too. And I hit all puddles as I can accordingly to keep the feet, the pads, that's where they sweat from, help keep them cool. That's where we're at right now. Okay, so right now we're at 2 3/4 miles. We're taking our time, but this is good fitness for the dogs. And these dogs are getting older, of course. Zorro being almost 10, Chase and Jag, all similar ages, 9.5 to 10 years old, like Zorro. Lola's the youngest. Now, obviously, the younger one's going to have more energy and more depth to what she can do. But at the same time, the heat takes from everybody, so we have to be careful, always practicing caution. Notice right now, I'm in a tree-covered area. This concrete is not hot whatsoever. Put my hand on it. I always check wherever I go. And, I mean, it's almost to the point where it's cool, because it rained last night and it's just drying out. If it was hot, obviously, I wouldn't run them, or I would use paw protection. I still use Musher Secret. I put that on today. But, you can also use booties, or you can go in a cooler area, a cooler day. But that's the problem, that I'm trying to get them exercise, and I don't want them to get out of shape. I want to maintain their fitness level. So it's important to get the proper fitness for them without overheating them, because that's obviously fatal. We never want to do that. A lot of people ask me, well, why don't you just walk? That's the famous question some people pose to me, and obviously I don't have the capacity to walk as many miles as these dogs can do, even in the heat. And the scooter, quite frankly, can go at a walking pace, or it can speed it up a little bit. In the colder months, it can floor it. It can ride really fast, so they can really let it air out. And when we get a distraction, when there's a car or another dog, I can gun it a little bit, hit the throttle, so I can get some speed and get out of the situation. So in the winter, you know, we're doing 20, 30 miles sometimes on the big bikes. On the scooter here, we're usually limited to 5 miles, maybe a little bit more, just because we'll start running into the main roads. That's all the neighborhood I have. I can take it to national parks and areas where I can ride it and get more mileage in the cooler months. We do that some. We actually did one a couple weeks ago on the state parks. Lum's State Park was really cool. Hope you got to see that video. That was in Delaware. In any case, we're going to head on. We're going to do some more mileage, and we're going to head back home from here. So they'll probably wind up with roughly 4 miles. Okay, so we're finishing up now. 4 miles in. Dogs are doing great. They're hot. They're panting, but there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's like, oh, their dogs are too hot. They're not. They're good. I've done this for about 25 years. They have not been overworked. They're greatly shaped for this. They're used to dealing with the warmer weather. Their hair has been properly maintained to provide just the top level. The dead hair is removed. for cooling purposes, so the hair actually helps cool them. Right now, we're going to get into the pond, and we're going to enjoy some cooling down. This is the cool down session. Jag saying hi to the goldfish. Look at they're coming right up to him, Jim. And Lola, she's still on a leash. She's not quite ready to free range, even though we're at home. This part of the house is not fenced, only by invisible, and she's not on that yet. Zorro, he wants to eat some grass. Come on, Zorro. Zorro, come on, good boy. Come on, good boy. Yeah, man. Come on. Good boy, Zorro. Good boy. Fish are saying hi to Zorro, too. So, one of the best ways to cool a dog down is to submerge their feet in water, because they emit heat. They actually sweat through their pads. It's not a efficient sweat like a human, but it will cool them off by submerging themselves in here in any water. That's why they used to, I have something called a paw plunger. I don't know if they still make it anymore, but I used to dip the dog's paws, and I still do sometimes, out on the trail if there's no water around and we need to get it cooling down. That's where we're at right now. Couldn't be any better.